Anything? I'm gonna open the floor to you today. What do you want to start with before I get into my? I got three or four main things.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to start off grim, but we lost a couple legends this week.
It's true. You're right.
So, Ozzy, and then I got news today, Hulk Hogan, who,
Yep. Saw
to
that.
my knowledge, resides in the Tampa area.
71
Unfortunately,
too.
yeah, like young, right? Relatively.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, maybe not the stuff that you're
Not,
putting in your system to make that kind of life, but yes, age-wise, I'm sure young.
yeah. So, but just tragic, terrible. Um, yeah, that's just wanted to touch on that a little bit. So, what do you got for me?
So I have. Well, first I'll lead off just because it happened this morning. Did you see what happened with Justin Fields?
No.
So I get a ESPN notification followed by I think it was CBS followed by The Athletic. Like it was bang 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 at around 9:30, 9:45 ish, and it's these articles and it's Fields was went down contact injury, had to be carted off the field, but he walked under his own power once they got back in the locker room or into the facility. And it's blowing up, right? And then people, then all of a sudden it makes it onto the get up for ESPN because uh, Greeny is a big Jets fan. So he's talking about, oh man, I can't believe it, just the luck that we have with quarterbacks. And it says, hey, like Aaron Glenn comes out after training camp finishes. That's the very first question he answered. Well, what's going on with Fields? And he said, I got to wait till the doctors get to me. Like, I don't know right now. I'm not going to speculate on it. So
Yeah.
it turns out it was a dislocated toe. One of the linemen stepped on him during 11 on 11s, but not broken. Day to day, shouldn't miss any time. So everybody kind of takes like a collective deep breath. But man, like,
I mean, that's scary.
of
And as a
course,
Jets fan, like you definitely have to be a little like, geez, like what? Come
what
on,
luck. I think for
right?
me, and that's one of the things I guess we'll get into it now, but the only thing that it really like made me feel like, of course, you get relief when it's, oh, well, he's not actually hurt. Everything's going to be fine. But yeah, you almost feel this like, oh, here we go again, right? This deja vu of Rodgers goes down. At least for Fields, there isn't this like hype machine around him. I mean, everybody's hoping he's fine, but there isn't this grand illusion that we're going to win the division or we're going to make the playoffs. Like everyone's like, yeah, well, we're going to win 5 or 6 games. Like it's okay. But knowing that there really isn't a backup behind him, which we've already experienced with Rodgers for 2 years, that would have that would have sucked. But I don't know. I'm just kind of like that. Again, this is one of the very first years I'm going into it without any expectations at all. Like I'm not even. We will probably be last in the division. That's okay because then again, the plan is the only sign Fields to a 2 year deal, pick up your high draft picks, draft a good quarterback coming out, and you build the rest of the team around him. So I don't know. But that did happen this morning, so I wanted to shout that out. But he should be back. I think they said, yeah, day to day should be back soon. But on the topic of the NFL, I have I have three notes, and two of those notes are of the Jets. But I wanted your opinion on them. So earlier this week, Jets signed Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner to big extensions. I don't know if you saw. Did you see the numbers on those?
I did not see the numbers on those. I saw the numbers on some Watt extension where he outgoes his brother, but continue. We can touch on that later.
Yeah, yeah. So it was. I want to get the official numbers here. 1 second. So this was what day was this? So it's a 4 year, $130 million deal. I mean, it was signed a week ago, but they really only like made it public a couple days ago. But yeah, so 4 year, 130. Makes him one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL. 90 of that is guaranteed.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, new average is fifth highest among the NFL wide receivers. Actually, here I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll give you the. Let me give you the players that are right around him salary wise, and you tell me if he's better or not. And
It's
I will
probably going to
say,
be a no, but
I will say the caveat here is with any young player, a guy who gets his deal is not going to be worth it immediately. But when you look at it 2-3 years down the line, when everybody else gets their money, you hope that they're right in line, right?
yeah.
So here's the numbers. So Garrett's at 32.5. So right underneath him, $32 million, AJ Brown.
Okay.
Right above
Um.
him, go ahead.
All
Yeah,
right.
thoughts on that one?
I I think that's okay.
Okay.
I think,
Um,
and how I'm trying to compare this to how high I would value them on fantasy, which is essentially what we're doing here. Um. So yeah, I think that's pretty comparable there.
okay. You go up to 33 million, DK Metcalf.
So here's where my notes start.
So you take DK over Garrett Wilson.
I think so.
I
I
I
think so.
I think
I think it's a gamble. It's a tough decision, but I think there, I'm looking at Jets versus I guess DK's at Pitt now, right?
right. Yes.
So, okay, that changes things. Okay. With that in mind, probably not.
Okay,
Probably not.
let me give you these two more numbers for you to just think it over. Garrett Wilson just turned 25 last week. He is the first Jet player since 1968 to record 3 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Okay. Knowing it, who's thrown him passes. So he's caught passes from 7 different quarterbacks.
And still
Aaron
hitting
Rodgers,
that.
Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, your top three. Mike White, Trevor Simeon, Tim Boyle, and Chris Streveler. And you're still hitting 3 straight 1,000-yard receivers. Okay, but there's one more. Of the players to surpass 1,000 receiving yards and 80 receptions in their first 3 seasons, there's only 5 NFL players who've done it. Can you name them? One obviously being Garrett Wilson. 1,000 receiving yards and 80 receptions in each of their first 3 seasons. They're all in the last 10 years.
Uh, all right. Here we're gonna test my receiver knowledge here. I'll tell you, it's not that great. Is Jamar Chase on there?
Jamar Chase is on there.
All right. Um, they're all in the last 10 years.
They're all in the last 10 years. Think superstars. They're all big names.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So it's gonna be Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson is on there.
Um, crap. Why am I blanking all of a sudden?
Guys who were big coming into league, big in college, made an impact right away. These other two, you got to go back a couple more years.
I'll be completely honest. I'm looking up a receiver list here.
One played for the Saints. One has played for a couple teams, but he made his name with the Giants.
Ooh, okay. So that's got to be Odell.
Odell
Yeah.
Beckham Jr.
All right. Okay. One played for the Saints?
Believe he spent his whole career with the Saints. I think he's still there. He's gotten
That one's
injured the
pretty
last couple
tough.
of years. Michael Thomas,
Okay. I wouldn't have guessed that.
fantasy legend, but that's a tough one. My point is, when you think Garrett Wilson, you're attaching him with the Jets stink that's on him now, but you go just off the stats, he does put himself in those categories.
That's fair.
So Garrett's at 32.5, DK's at 33, go up 1 million up to 34, CeeDee Lamb.
Hmm.
For me, this is where it starts to separate a little bit. I think I think there's an argument to be made Garrett over DK. I think CeeDee last year probably made a good case, but again, now you're going into do you trust Dak to be able to give CD the ball? That I don't know. But I think off of talent, I do think they're similar.
That that's always going to be a question, and until the Dallas Cowboys prove themselves in the playoffs, that's always going to be a question for me.
Okay.
I do think here, after hearing what you had to say about Wilson, I don't know. It's a toss up. If I'm choosing fantasy, I'm choosing Wilson here because I don't trust the Cowboys.
Correct. Yeah, if there's anybody who does it worse than the Jets, it's the Cowboys and the Browns. But
As far as
that's fair.
talent though, NFL team salary, I think you have to go with CD.
Okay. Go up one more, so you're up to 35 million now. Justin Jefferson.
Nah,
Yeah, I'm
I
with you
think
there.
I
I'm
think it's
taking
pretty
Jettis.
clear here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you there. And then you have to go up another 5 million, up to 40 million a year to get to Jamar. Now, look, I'm not saying again. I don't think that deal's gonna like age poorly by any means. He had a great season last year, but NFL's a salary cap, and for you to be able to spend that much on your top guy hurts. But again, you got a great quarterback. He's always going to get the stats. He's always going to lead. Had a great year in fantasy last year, but I think that's interesting. I don't think that a lot of people would put Garrett Wilson in that category, but like you said, once you're hearing some of the numbers, it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean if he's consistently, I mean you're talking 3 years putting up those numbers, then it's worth putting your money into a good guy because otherwise he's just gonna get scooped up by the Chiefs or someone else.
Okay, well now, on the flip side of that, I believe it was only a day later, Sauce Gardner signed his new deal. So again, these two guys had great rookie seasons. One offensive rookie and defensive rookie for the AFC. Like it was a great thing. Both went to the Pro Bowl. So now it's kind of interesting that they both signed deals within 24 hours of each other. Um, so let's see here. So he signed a 4-year, $120 million extension with 85 guaranteed. Two-time All-Pro makes him NFL's highest paid cornerback. What are your thoughts there?
Looking at his stats here a little bit. Um, I mean, if the kid's proved himself again, like I think after the Aaron Rodgers experiment, the Jets seem like they're doubling down on their young talent, trying to build what they can with this team and move it forward. I think they're definitely showing a card like, hey, these are our guys. They've shown us that they can be our guys, or at least we're trusting that. And we're
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
hopefully
yeah,
move
I
forward with
agree.
these guys.
I think that's fair. I think it's tough because it's like you said, you haven't seen the results yet on the field, but they're definitely building something, right? You just hope is that it's gonna put itself together with wins because the rest of it doesn't really matter if you don't win games in the NFL. There's only
Yeah.
17 of them.
It's only a good business decision if it works, you know. So
Exactly. Well, those are the first two. The only one I have. So those are my two uppers. The downer that I have, which it is kind of ironic that we are talking about the football, but Monday morning, throw on ESPN. I think it was the 9 or 10 a.m. slot, and it's like the NFL season started this past weekend. Everything, every single show, every slot was about you know NFL this, NFL that, win totals, training camp, guys who are hurt, what are the trades, like everything. So it makes me think like is there such a thing as too much football? And again, as
oof.
somebody who played, I would love. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think there's such thing as too much football
Okay.
for me. Um, it is extremely taxing on the human body. I will say that. So I do think, like the 82 games they play in basketball. I'm not saying it's not strenuous or physically strenuous on the body, but like football is kind of it's war essentially. Um, and so I don't think the season should be extended or anything like that. But I'm excited. Like I'm looking at we've got the Hall of Fame game 7:31. So in
Yeah,
seven
next
days,
Thursday. Yeah.
next Thursday, we have football, and like for me, I can't wait. I
Okay.
remember growing up, I had football every single day. Like we practiced 3 days a week, and those 3 days, or the other 4 days, there was always football on. Like we didn't practice on Fridays, I could go to the high school football game. Thursday there was Thursday night football. Saturday was college. Sunday was NFL. Like I had football
Yeah.
every single day in the fall, and for me that was my happy place. So
No, I mean that's fair, and I know that it's like it has such an impact, right now, which I get. I think my thing is like if you wanted to build this excitement, I guess knowing that the like you said the training camp started this week, but knowing that the Hall of Fame game is next Thursday, I guess I would have expected more stuff like next week. And of course, you get like your intermittent stories of guys getting hurt or what does training camp look like, and I get that. But I mean, just to like you couldn't even find out about any other news besides the NFL if you were on ESPN Monday morning. Like no highlights from baseball the night before, no soccer highlights, no anything. Does not matter. No summer league from the NBA. I just find that like such an interesting idea from them. And I know NFL runs the world and there's such a big market share and I get all that. But you really make it obvious that you don't care about other sports when that happens. And even to follow up on that, the only other thing I saw was on social media the youth, the NFL youth flag football, I guess national tournament, whatever, was on over this past week. And every age, I think it was from like U10 or U8 was the youngest all the way through high school. And
dude,
for the
it, is this that tournament where that kid had that crazy ass
yes,
one-handed? Oh
yes,
my lord, that was
crazy.
insane.
And the Jacksonville Jaguars team, or I guess like because you play for your local NFL affiliate, right? So the Jaguars
Mhm.
won the U16 or 17 division, and one of the guys is a Mandarin wide receiver who's looking to commit to Texas. So cool, but you could not scroll through social media, I don't Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, didn't matter what, without getting a clip from that event every like hour. And it blows my mind that I didn't see that anywhere. There was no talk about it before. There was no, hey, we're going to be putting this on our page. You only got that
No,
information on what was going on.
no top 10 plays,
No, nothing. But
anything. Yeah.
but if you were on social media, you would have thought that that was the most important thing in the world. And I don't, for some reason, I don't get what ESPN's doing. Like if you kind of zoom, like there are so many other big sports events that are going on. Like the women's Euros, the finals on Saturday. You have tennis events that are going on. You've got the MLS had their All-Star game, which is something I'll talk about. Baseball just finished their All-Star game. Like none of this was talked about. It was just football and oh look, more football and flag football's on too. And I don't get it. But yeah, I was curious for some of your again. I know you played, but I guess from like a fan's perspective, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's two sides to it. I played, so like me, I'm craving it. Like I can't
Ah,
wait
that's fair.
for the first college game day. Like I literally, almost as close to religion as you could get from me. Um, but as a sports fan, I do want to pop on any ESPN show while I'm doing like house chores or whatever, and be able to get a little bit of everything that's going on. I want to know the results of the Fever versus whoever.
Sure.
I want to know the results of the women's 3-point contest, which I believe Sabrina Ionescu won. I
Yeah, back to
definitely
back.
pronounced
Yeah.
it wrong, but Um, I want to see that stuff too. Like, I want to keep up. I want to see if my guy Ellie De La Cruz knocked a homer in this weekend.
So much fun.
Like, so
Yeah, no, I hear you. I saw that this week, and it was just you would have thought that opening weekend was this Sunday or this Thursday. So those are my I'll say my first three things, but the I have three more. I had a whole list, but I'll let you choose your card with which one you want to open with.
okay. What cards are these? No, I'm just card number 2.
So card number two. So I kind of alluded to it earlier, but MLS All-Star game. So it happened this past week. The MLS All-Star. Did you watch any of the events or the game?
I did not. I
Fair.
watched a little bit of the NBA 3-point. That's it.
Yeah.
WNBA.
So the MLS All-Star break, right? Because it's a couple days, but they similar to other sports, they're trying to figure out what works. I would say the NBA probably has the best one, but they're always trying to change it. Like something is new every year with the rules or how they finish the game or whatever, because they're just trying to get it to stick. I would say baseball is like the most traditional, right? You have your All Star game, you got your home run derby. That's really it. And even that they changed this year with the swing off, which was incredible. But MLS is still trying to find what works. So what they'll do is they'll pick their all stars from the league. They'll play a group of all stars from another league, which has typically been Liga MX out of Mexico. But sometimes they'll play like other international teams. Like they played Real Madrid a couple times, like guys who are coming over for their preseason. So it's just this like kind of spectacle, really. It's not a competitive game by any means, but that's like every other sport. The one that gets me is the skills challenge, which they introduced a couple years ago, where it's like there's targets in a goal and you have 60 seconds to shoot, and depending on the target, that's how many points you get, and it's you versus another group. Like there's a couple of different ways they're trying to make it interesting.
Okay.
I have one gripe. It's a big one though, and that's Leo Messi,
Hmm.
who again, I don't know if people know, uh, probably still the most famous athlete in the world, maybe next to
Indeed.
Ronaldo, but
Indeed.
at least in America, right? Uh, billions of people have watched highlights of him or know his name or have his jersey. And you have him in the league, like built in. And not only that, he is having an unbelievable season. It's not like this case that they're used to of the old guy that comes over and doesn't really do anything and just kind of floats around. No, like he's let me pull up the goals list here to see where he is. He is tied for first in goals. He's 18 goals, tied with another guy. Oh, by the way, Messi's only played in 18 games.
Hmm.
18
What about the
goals,
other guy?
18 games. The other guy's played in 24 games.
Okay. Still good.
Messi is also tied for fourth in assists with 10 assists. Leader has 14. Again, Messi's played in less games than everybody else on that list.
So this man retired from EuroLeague or Spain and
Decided to
is
come to the
now
States.
playing his edition of Adult League.
Yes, basically.
That's how this is going.
Yes, and the fact is he's not quote unquote retiring, right? He still wants to come and he still wants to compete. And obviously, Argentina is looking to qualify for the World Cup next year. I'm sure if Messi stays fit, he's going to have a place on that team. But the the interesting thing here is like, why wouldn't he be the focal point of everything you did for the All Star game? And I understand, I get it, right? Because you want to make it the contrary opinion is going to be, oh well, we want to highlight everybody and everybody who's an All Star, and kind of similar to like baseball, right? It's like, oh yeah, well, Skeens is going to be pitching, but look at all these other guys that made the team, or Otani's going to be there, but look at everybody else that's there. Like, it's not just about him, and I get that. But if you want people to watch, that's what you got to do. So, story comes out. Messi opted out of the All-Star game, opted out of the skills challenge, opted out of the All-Star game, and because the MLS changed their rules a couple years ago, he now faces a 1-game suspension this weekend when Inter Miami restarts their second half of their season. And that was like they're supposed to be their incentive for these star players to come and come and participate, come and play if you are voted in as an all-star. But my gripe is you had no idea the all-star game was going on, right?
Correct.
Correct. And again, that's totally fine. I think that's more on them than anybody. But here's what I'll ask you: what day of the week is the Pro Bowl?
NFL Sunday.
Yep. Yep. What day of the week is the NBA All-Star game?
I'd probably guess a Sunday too.
It's a Monday. That's fine.
Okay.
What day of the week was the MLB All-Star game?
I'm seeing a trend here.
It's tough. It's a Tuesday.
Okay.
So you're telling me, and again, the All-Star game was last night, so Wednesday. You're telling me that a Wednesday night in Austin, Texas at like 8 p.m., you're going to get enough people to be home and turning that on? Like, that's
Not me.
there's no
Not me.
spectacle
No.
there. No. Like, if you really want to make this a league of, glitz and glamour and, oh, look, we have the best players, dude, I'm putting that prime time on like Saturday night at 7 p.m.
Yeah, Saturday or Sunday at 7 p.m.
Right. When
Easy.
that's normally when the games are, right? So what they tried to do is rather than take any time off, I don't have to postpone it if the teams play on a Saturday, we call everybody in on Sunday, we train for 2 days, the game's on Wednesday, you can go back to your team and play the next weekend. But then there's no sauce there.
Yeah, it's just another day in the week.
Exactly.
Oh, there's just another soccer game on.
So that's my frustration. Again, the viewership numbers aren't out yet, but it's it's not enough to me. Like you said, put it on a Saturday, put it on a Sunday, like make it something special where you're gonna have these stars that are gonna be out to give us a reason to watch it. I don't care that we're playing the Mexican League All Stars, but I will care about who we are using for that game. You're telling me we're gonna have the best players of our league plus a Messi or a Suarez or a whoever, like the old guys that are there? Man, that sounds like fun to watch. You're gonna tell me like Messi in a skills challenge against these other guys from an 18-year-old from Vancouver? Like that sounds awesome. So
Yeah, I'm here for it. That
instead, like I said, they opted out. They're not there. Most of the social clips I saw from last night were Speed, the YouTuber. He was there, which I feel like he's everywhere right now. But he like participated, and they called like he was one of the celebrities that were there. But it doesn't do it for me. Like you said, the put the WNBA like 3-point contest, put the NBA 3-point contest up against that. Those are the best of the best. I feel like the dunk contest maybe like 10 to 15 years ago, same thing. You knew you were getting the best guys, the most creative guys who are going to come in, bring something to of entertainment value. And I don't feel like this had it. So it's frustrating to me. But they got to figure it out. I mean, I think probably not fair comparison, but what worked so well was the Four Nations, the hockey tournament this year that the NHL did in lieu of an All-Star game.
oh yeah.
Like that was, dude,
Yeah, no,
you
that
had
was
you
sick.
had you had people turning in every night who weren't even hockey fans. And to show that they can do something, hockey, a sport that's been on the decline for a decade now, if they can try to figure something out and be creative and come up with a new concept, I don't know why soccer couldn't do it too. But yeah, that's my spiel on the All-Star game. It
Maybe they
sucks.
need to get in touch with the EA. Is it EA that makes FIFA?
Not anymore.
Oh,
Oh no, and they do it. It's not called FIFA anymore. Now it's EAFC. But yes, it
Oh,
is EA.
okay. Just get some of their mini camp game modes and stuff and
I would 100%
translate
tune
them to
into
real
that.
life.
Don't even put it at nighttime. Make that like an 8 a.m. Saturday morning. Like put the game at night, right? Game's 7 p.m. at night. You wake up that morning like the Pro Bowl and it's the punt, pass, and kick or whatever, and you
Hmm.
put all these mini games, or they do the now they do the flag football game, or they do the skills challenge. Like that would be so fun to watch. But I get, you want to incentivize these guys to go, so you punish them if they don't, which is what it is. You can't force them to go, but I just think it's a big miss. And on that, the Americanization of sports. It's not like the Premier League does this, right? They're just focused on their season.
Yeah.
So do you need an All-Star game?
I
And I don't
mean,
know,
if it's wasting resources and not, I'd hate to say turn it a profit, then maybe not.
right? Take the NFL. Do you need a Pro Bowl? Can you just list your all pros at the end of the year and you don't need an event? I don't know. That's definitely the European sneaking into my brain on what you need and what you don't. But it just seems like what's the point? You're putting these guys on showcase, but anybody can see highlights now. Like you know the best players in every position anyways. I don't need an all-star game to see that. 30 years ago, sure. Right? If I didn't know somebody from a Western Conference team, it's cool to see them in an all-star game. It's like, oh man, I didn't even know they were having a good season. But now I can look something up on my fingertips. So, but anyways, that was card number two. I'm sure a little bit more than you were anticipating. But yeah, that one had me heated yesterday. I was looking at it. All right, you got two more. You got one
All
and
right.
three.
We're gonna go card number three.
So so here's my issue with card number three. Have you been following along with the NFL Players Association stuff?
I got a notification last week on something, but enlighten me.
All right, so sit down for this one because this is a big story, but it's I will say it's still developing. So something is like things are still changing pretty much day to day. Uh, but have you know Pablo Torre, right? Former ESPN guy.
I might recognize his face. Hold on, let me take a look. Okay. Yep.
So Pablo Torre was I believe Sports Illustrated and he was ESPN for a while, but super fun. Uh, I don't know if he left or if now he just freelances, but he started his own like podcast slash like YouTube channel, and it's called Pablo Torre Finds Out. And he love to watch his videos. He's one of those guys like I will doesn't matter what the topic is, I'll tune in because he's really like a storyteller. So videos are like 45 minutes long, but he goes into super deep detail into what happened, what the story is. He normally has on a guest or two, like you would know, people from the ESPN or from these leagues. And because of the connections he's kind of developed over these years of working in pro sports, he's able to dig up all kinds of dirt. And because he's not really tied to a major network, he can tell whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So he's the one that, oh god, this was a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. Remember when the ring camera footage came out of Bill Belichick leaving at like 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. So he, in an episode, maybe it might have been like mid spring, in an episode, he basically went to the Airbnb in Massachusetts, like found the homeowner, found the ring camera, like pulled the whole story from it and released it as an episode. And like digs up all this dirt, and like that wasn't even the first time that he had spent time with whatever her name, Jordan Hudson, right? I think that's her name.
Hmm.
But anyway, so that's kind of like his reputation that he's building is that he's this super deep, detailed storyteller. But he and Mike Florio from PFT, released this. It was really like this legal document. It's a 61-page legal document between the NFL Players Association and the NFL. And it was this. I don't want to I don't need to spend an hour on it, but for all the details, again, go to his page, check it out. But basically, what happened was there was alleged some collusion happening between the owners and the players. And what I mean by that is when Deshaun Watson signed his fully guaranteed contract, there were some text messages between owners and then promptly an emergency owners meeting that Roger Goodell called to try to dissuade these owners from giving out fully guaranteed contracts. Right? Because that was not the norm, and that was why it was such a big deal when the Browns gave him one. But these owners are texting, and these text messages got leaked, and they were like, "Man, oh yeah, thanks for who was it? I think it was Kyler Murray's deal. The Ravens leadership was happy that the Cardinals lowballed Kyler Murray because that means that the Ravens didn't have to offer as high of a deal to Lamar. So they were basically trying to say, hey, if you lowball your quarterback and he signs, that's great. I can lowball mine just a little bit higher than yours, and then we can both save money." Which is you can't do that. Technically, in the bylaws of the NFL, there are 32 independent teams. They're supposed to be competitive against each other, not working with each other to try to save money and screw the players. So this whole thing happened in secret, whatever. These two got hold of this legal document that had the grievance that was hidden from, the players didn't even know about it. It happened in 2022. So they released it, and it became this oh my gosh, I can't believe that. Well, I believe a week later, there was this news story about leadership on the Players Association. I guess some players had been unhappy. Hey, how was this document leaked 3 years later and we didn't know anything about it? Have we been getting shafted with our contracts for this long?
Yeah.
And this guy who was J.C. Tretter, who was a Browns center or a lineman, he was the NFLPA's president for 2 terms while he was playing. Okay. This is where the story gets a little crazy. Tretter was cut by the Browns the same day that Deshaun Watson signed his mega deal. Right. So because he was no longer a current Brown, he couldn't run for a 3rd term as the president of the NFL Players Association. So they were looking for a replacement. And it was like, hey, who's it going to be? We need to find this guy. They end up hiring this guy, Lloyd Howell. And Lloyd Howell did not have a football background. So it kind of slipped under the radar. People are like, oh yeah, whatever. Maybe he's a lawyer. Maybe he's an executive somewhere that deals with it. So he just gets hired. But on the side, he created this brand new position. I believe it was director of something security. I don't even know. And kept J.C. Tretter, even though, again, he couldn't be president. He created a role for him like, hey, here's a new job for you. Again, nobody thought anything of it. Well, when Pablo Torre released the next episode, they had all this information about what had happened. And this guy, Lloyd Howell, created this job for him because it was a quid pro quo kind of thing. It turns out J.C. Tretter might have gotten Lloyd Howell the job under the table.
Good
and again,
Lord.
this is all news to the players.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I think that's the crazy part. So then here's what happens. At this point now, it's kind of hit the mainstream. People are talking about Pablo Torre's episode. Let me see. I'm going to see how many views it has right now. It's got to be his most popular one for sure. This was a month ago. Yeah, 1 month ago. Yeah, it's easily his most popular video. So 1 month ago, all the story comes out, whatever. Fast forward, it's like, oh, well, he's got the job, whatever. So he's going to lead us, blah, 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 blah. Then the next thing, they released a second episode. And it's like, hey, we found out even more information that basically the
Oh
Players
boy.
Association has been hiding from everybody. And what happened was this guy, Lloyd Howell, might have just gotten the job because he illegally hooked up these contracts with both the NFL and potentially the US government. So they were just kind of rewarding him and gifting him a job. There was no interview. He was the only candidate listed for interviews. And after the interview process, they changed the rules that they no longer had to release the candidates to like the hiring committee. So everyone's like, dude, this is so weird, man. What's going on? Fast forward
More than weird.
a week ago, he resigns. Just like out of the blue. He's like,
Okay.
it's amid all all the scrutiny, whatever. Resigned to the executive committee, and it basically kind of threw them all into turmoil. Like they don't know what they're doing. Blah 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 blah. This is a little weird. There might have been some shady deals. So then they go to Treader and they say, "Hey, Treader, like, you're retired now. Is this something that you're interested in? Obviously, this guy just retired, like, or resigned. Do you want this job?" And Treader went, "Absolutely not." And he also resigned on Sunday.
Hmm.
And people were like, "Dude, this is so weird. He led us for 2 terms. This guy would have been the perfect guy to just step in and take the job." So I was like, huh, that's a little weird. Like the top guy and then the guy that everybody liked and could have just taken that job also resigned. And then 5 days ago, ESPN ex NFLPA boss Lloyd Howell's strip club expenses. He
Bruh.
expensed on his NFLPA account. It's it. The point is, there is something coming out every single day. It's crazy. Like this is going to be one of those big things that they're going to have to fix. I can't. I Every time there's a new update, I'm eating it up because it's hilarious to me.
This is literally something out of a TV show.
It sounds like it. um. Oh, here's your four. And actually, on ESPN, they actually cite Pablo Torre finds out. So here's your four main ones. Earlier on Thursday, ESPN reported Booz Allen, which was where Lloyd Howell came from, which was I believe a consultancy firm. There was a sexual discrimination and retaliation lawsuit that involved Howell, and whether the players who voted for him led the NFLPA were aware of it. In May, ESPN reported that the FBI was investigating the financial dealings of the union related to a multi-billion-dollar group licensing firm. Um, Last week, ESPN reported that Lloyd is working as a paid part-time consultant for the Carlyle Group, one of the league-approved private equity firms seeking ownership. So he is on a team looking to buy an NFL team. And then ESPN reported last week that Howell struck a confidentiality agreement with the NFL 6 months ago that hid the details of a January arbitration decision from players. And you're supposed to be the one protecting the players. Crazy, man.
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
So, this, something to kind of keep an eye on. That's going to end up blowing up, I think.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was door number one. I told you, two big doors. Door number one.
All right. Door number one now.
This is a much shorter one, but I when I'm gonna fast forward before I'll come back to it. So we will have Michael on, I think about 2 weeks time. That'll give us time. We'll have the uh, Hall of Fame game will be in, but I want to go down each of the NFL teams and give win totals and stuff like that we've kind of talked about. But I think that'll be a good kind of preview for what the league's gonna look like. But the only thing that I have here, I just have to bring it up, just because it's we're getting to that time, right? End of the summer. But excuse me. the the news story I think that has stuck out the most to me, that again it's a much shorter one than the other two, has got to be Liverpool. I have to bring it up. There's nobody else to push back on me, but Liverpool again wins the league last year. Had a fairly successful season, I would say. and notorious owners that don't spend money and have spent by far the most, probably might be in the world right now. They're just shy of spending £300 million this summer on players. It's crazy. Like sometimes I can't believe it. But Alexander Isak, who is a Newcastle forward, Swedish guy, 25 or 26, like he's just about in his prime. This little rope-a-dope that they pulled, and this is what I want to talk about. Liverpool don't love the guy that they have up top, Darwin Nunez, but he's probably worth like 50 to 65 million, and they've turned down a couple bids for him. But they're saying, hey, we need to replace a forward. What are we going to do? And so they go to Newcastle and they say, hey, we love Isak. This is what we're willing to spend 120 million on him. And they go, absolutely not. He's not for sale. Well, behind the scenes, Newcastle's also looking to bring in this guy Hugo Ekitike or Ekitike, French guy. And Newcastle's saying, hey, like we're going to keep Isak's under 3 more years of contract, and we're going to bring in this guy to partner with him. They're going to be brilliant. Well, they're talking to Hugo weeks and weeks and weeks, and like nothing's really materializing. So Liverpool go, maybe we go to Hugo. And they do. And it heats up. And they're like, oh, well, we really want him. This is how much money you want to spend, blah, blah, blah. And Newcastle's like, no, we still really want him. All of a sudden, a day later, Liverpool signed Hugo Ekitike. Done. Like,
nice.
Took us 3 days.
79 million?
79, yeah. And Liverpool, like, man, we got our guy. Like, we're happy. We're good. And Newcastle's like, you know what? Like, it's fine. We have Isak for 3 more years. Like, no big deal. Like, it's okay. Like, we didn't need him kind of thing. And then a day goes by. And then 2 days go by. And then you wake up this morning and Isak did not play in Newcastle's first preseason game. I'm like, oh, well, he had a minor like leg issue. Like, he's just resting at home. No big deal. And then Newcastle's flying out to go to Asia, I think tomorrow or could be this weekend. And turns out Isak did not want to go to Asia for preseason. So like, oh, well, maybe it was the injury thing. Like, he just didn't want to travel. News comes out today. Isak wants to leave Newcastle. So people are freaking out. It's like, dude, this is so weird, man. This whole saga's coming out, and now he doesn't even want to stay. And again, he's under contract for 3 more years, but now people are like, well, who could possibly want to buy him? Right? I guess the list is long because everybody wants to do it. First team that called him today, Liverpool. And people are like, are you shitting me? Like, they spent, like you said, 69, whatever, 70 million on this other guy. And then it turns out you're also just going to double back and also pick up him.
Hey, by the way, we told Newcastle we wanted 120 million for you. That still stands.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Welcome to Liverpool.
So all I have to say is, again, I'm over the moon already with how the team is coming together. But doing that's like adding the last Infinity Stone to the gauntlet. Like, just sign us over the league now. Again, I'm happy. I will be over the moon. You will not hear me shutting up about that team as long as the season goes. So it's exciting. I think we've got when's the first game? 3 weeks from this weekend. 3 weeks from tomorrow, actually. So coming up. But yeah, that would be. I think we'll know over the next probably week or two with the Isak situation. Man, that would be crazy.
That would be a wild turn of events for you guys.
But yeah, those are my 3 doors. Again, I know a lot of soccer today, but the news is heavy, man. It's just I feel like something new's just coming out every day.
Yeah, it's good. We're leading into our busy season now. Football coming around, soccer starting up. We'll have basketball in October.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could talk about that too. I did see So obviously, summer Summer League finished. I believe the Charlotte Hornets won it, which is interesting. But the let me see if I can find the article here. The more interesting thing to me was the rankings, the preseason rankings for how they have some of these teams listed. Where is it here? Hold on. Okay, here we go. So ESPN basically went down and just listed uh, kind of like just power rankings, right? How are the teams doing? How are summer moves and whatnot? And the Knicks were ranked number 2, and I would love to hear what you think. If you think the Knicks are, I don't know, I can't even say the second best team. Like that's so hard for me to say. Does that sound right?
I mean, given the injuries that happened in this previous season, I don't think it's wrong. I think you take away, you know, who knows how these teams recover from losing their stars, but I think you take away the team in Boston who you were you personally were like, yeah, we're not beating these guys.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
And then the team in Indiana that beat you in losing Halliburton, like easy. You guys are the number 2 with OKC being number 1, I'm sure, right?
yeah. Okay, yes, OKC's I think far and away number 1.
Yeah, so no, I don't think that's inaccurate.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like you said, Boston falls off, Indiana falls off. I get that. I do think there are still a couple of things like for these teams to have to figure out before you get to like your true preseason or your training camp stuff. But I don't think there's a world right now where the Knicks compete with OKC. I don't know if there's a world where a lot of these teams compete with OKC, but the Knicks in particular, they're gonna have to figure some things out. I do think that right now, if I was a betting man, Knicks are probably the favorite in the East. Like that that's a crazy thing to say, but I don't think it's wrong. Who else is up there?
I I mean, maybe Cleveland has a repeat year.
It's true. Yes, I did forget about
I
Cleveland. Fair point.
like, but ultimately, I think if you're looking at it as in like maybe Denver might compete with you guys. Who knows what like the Lakers do this year? Even though they fell off in the first round, but like those teams aren't going to be number 2 technically because they're going to have to beat OKC. So
True.
I think if you're looking to open up your Hard Rock app and put $1 on the Knicks winning the East, I think that'd be $1 well spent.
So here it is. It wasn't ESPN. It was the Athletic. So obviously OKC's number 1. Fair enough, right? I get it. Here are your rest of your top 5. Cleveland's ranked at 3, Minnesota 4, Denver at 5. Those seem fair, right?
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Let's go to the next 5. You got Houston at 6, LA Clippers at 7, Orlando at 8, which is a huge jump for them, but I could see it. Golden State's at 9, and Detroit's at 10.
I think it's probably not going to end up like that. I mean, I guess Houston finished second this year, but they switched up their squad a little bit, so we'll see how that meshes. Um,
Yeah, correct.
I
You
think
brought in
that's
Kevin
it.
Durant.
Yeah, that's 3 teams from the East, right? The top 10
Um, 4.
or 4?
Because
4, Detroit.
Detroit's
Yep.
Detroit's number 10. Yeah, but yeah, So four out of the East and six out of the West. And if you want to go down another one, Lakers are 11. So four out of your top 11 are out of the East. So my thought process is we'll take the NFL in particular and kind of deep dive into it when we get Michael on. But then we'll have to do one when we get closer to basketball season, like you said, September, October ish. But yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling with rooting for a team that like kind of comes with expectation. I'm not really used to that.
Well, that's the balance you're getting in your NFL is you've got no expectation for the Jets, so you got to have some expectations in your NBA. Like it's
Brother, I've been used to
balanced
no expectations in any team.
everywhere. Oh man, I feel that.
And yeah, Liverpool won the league. My Mets are first place. Like things are good right now. Things are pretty good. But yeah, those are my three doors. Those are my three doors today. Um, I did tell you. So yeah, next week we'll have on guy that I met that runs a daily fantasy sports page.
Yes.
Um, it's got a couple thousand followers. I think he's on Twitter. We'll kind of get some questions ready to talk to him about it. But that world is always so interesting to me because some people some people make a living off of it.
No, it's incredible.
But yeah, that's all I have for today. Anything else you got?
No. Well, I did say I was going to touch on the Watt thing. I don't know if it was clickbait or it was actually true, but I think TJ signed. It was 123 million, I think, and
Okay.
his brother responded like, "He better not let me reach for my wallet when we sit down at dinner. He better not."
That's a
Like, so I
brother
just
though.
yeah, yeah. I just thought that was funny, but
I
yeah,
think
no, that
that's
was
so
all I
true.
had.
Okay. Well, well then yeah. So that's all we got for next week, but we'll catch you later.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Take it easy.